All right, guys. So during my workout, it hit me like a ton of bricks what the topic of the video is going to be. What adjustments am I going to make just over 3 weeks out? Because it was an hour workout. Granted, it was my heavy deadlift day, 6 sets of doubles with 350 pounds, back off sets down to 335. But it was a longer workout, and by the time I got about 45, 50 minutes in, I was gassed. Normally I can get like an hour workout, no problem. So energy levels are definitely taking a hit. Combination of lower body fat percentage, dropping my calories again, increased cardio, just all of it is taxing my central nervous system, and the overall systemic fatigue is accumulating faster. I guess there's more volume of it, so it's just hitting me. So I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do to still push. I just have to be smarter about it. So settle in for the rest of the video, because I have nothing right now, but hopefully by the end of this video and by the time the next week goes by, I will have something. But we'll see. Also, I've been recording. Oh God. I'm gonna see how to edit that so that it still meshes. It's probably gonna be bad. I apologize in advance. I hope you did not get nauseous during that little clip. But here we go. To the rest of the video. What's going on, dudes and dudettes? Just under 3 weeks out. Ready for it to be over. I'm excited. I'm nervous, but I'm also exhausted. Exhausted probably doesn't cover it. It is not encompassing enough as to how I feel. As the intro clip alluded, my workouts are starting to take a hit. Usually I can manage even like an hour and a half workout isn't that big of a deal for me. Last week, like I said, it was heavy deadlifts, probably one of the most physically taxing workouts in my mesocycles that I have, but normally I can still get through the majority of the workout. As a side note, my loving wife asked me, what's your video going to be about this week? Is it going to be about how you be a crab over the next 3 weeks? Yeah, it is. It is. My mood is definitely changing. And then I politely told her, no, it's actually going to be about things that I'm going to adjust over the next 3 weeks. But my attitude is not going to be one of them. I will not apologize. I am who I am. I tend to be whiny and irritable on a low level, even when I'm not in prep. So you tie in all of these other factors. It's a recipe for disaster, but I'm aware of it. I try to take a moment. It's not anyone else's fault that I feel this way. This is entirely self-inflicted. I don't take it out on other people. I try not to. Some of my old coworkers would probably disagree with you. My wife certainly would disagree with you, but a couple more weeks. That's it. That's all they have to deal with, and that's all I have to deal with. But other than the workout, how do I know now is the time to make some adjustments? Like I said earlier, my systemic fatigue is catching up with me. Some things that I've been going back and forth on, is this really just mental? I'm pretty deep into prep, so I don't know, it would make sense for this to be hitting now, but I made it this long that I was just like, maybe I won't actually hit that wall like I have in the past. Maybe my body is just like, it's the energy, I don't know. So it was a good thing that it's finally hitting. Well, not that it's finally hitting, but at this late stage, I've never gone this deep into prep. Usually my irritability, fatigue, everything is hitting like 8 weeks out, and it's just brutal. So that's a good thing, and sort of had me on the fence. The other thing, I've been hitting PRs in the gym, which is astounding to be doing this deep into prep. That deadlift day was an all-time PR. I hit 355 pounds on deadlifts, I think for 4. That is fantastic. So at the lightest weight possible that I've ever been. So those are some of the good things. I'm just like, maybe this is just mental and I have to power through. But after processing over the last week, like I said, I wouldn't just, we'll figure it out in the video, and this turns into a half an hour rambling session of me just screaming into the void and you guys saying, what the hell is he talking about? You say that anyway, but this is a little bit more on point. By 6 o'clock in the evening on my work days, I'm fried mentally, physically. I get on the couch and I'm not tired. I just want to do nothing, and I space out, get that 1,000-yard stare, and that is something that is indicative of systemic fatigue being higher than it needs to be. In tandem with that, my legs feel like they are just straight up cinder blocks. Anytime I have to walk an extended distance, I still take the stairs as often as I can, because that's just the type of person I am. I guess the sadist in me, masochist in me. But it's a struggle. So that also leads me to believe systemic fatigue definitely higher than it should be, or than it needs to be, I guess I should say. And the last thing that I really was tracking over the last week was my sleep quality with my Apple Watch or Google. Screw all Apple products. I am not sponsored, but if Android, Samsung, Google wants to pick this up and sponsor me, I'll talk shit on any Apple product all day, every day. I'll do it for free, but if there's money in it, doesn't hurt. But tracking my sleep with the Pixel Watch, I'm getting the same amount of sleep. My sleep schedule is pretty much the same, but the quality, the score that I get, and this is not scientific by any means, but consistency. You use a scale that is 5 pounds off as far as what you actually weigh, but you trend down regardless. It doesn't necessarily matter what the scale says, it matters that you're trending down. So my sleep score might not actually be an 80 on any given night, but I can see, okay, a month ago I was consistently getting 80s and now I'm getting 60s and 70s. It's the trend downward that I'm focusing, not necessarily the number itself. That's a big part of this. That was the light bulb moment, the eureka moment, where I was like, I need to reevaluate some things. So what am I going to do? Well, pivot, persist, concede. I could grind it out for the next 3 weeks. Just say, tough it out, get really toxically masculine in my brain and say some self-deprecating nonsense. To what end? What does that accomplish? The downsides of that, I run the risk of losing muscle probably more rapidly than I have up until this point, because my body is saying, asshole, slow down, and it's just going to start to expend energy or burn whatever it can for energy sources. The other danger is I run the risk of injury, because if I'm exhausted during my workouts, fatigue starts setting in, then my form starts to break down. And if I'm doing cable lateral raises and my form starts to break down, so be it. If I'm doing it when I'm still squatting heavy with 225 plus on the bar, or benching without a spotter because I just never ask for a spotter, then I run a very big risk of injury. And that's the last thing I need right now. This close to the finish line, it is about being smart. So that's out. We're not going to grind. I could half-ass it over the next 3 weeks and just be like, you know what, I'm exhausted. It's just got to go through the motions, get in the gym, maybe only do 3 sets instead of 4, cut my workouts completely in half, and just say, you know what, it is what it is. In this situation, it is not what it is. That is, one, mentally impossible for me to do. I can't go in and half-ass anything in the gym. Full ass all the time. I'm not entirely where I need to be either, if I'm being incredibly honest with myself. From a physique perspective, I'm close. I think I'm 3 to 4 pounds away before water depletion and all of that. So I can't let my foot off the gas either. I could. I don't think it would benefit me. And the trade-off is, okay, I feel a little bit more rested, my systemic fatigue gets back to baseline. That's not the goal here. My goal is not to step on stage with a good stimulus fatigue ratio or overall systemic fatigue number or rating just to bring my best goddamn physique ever. That's going to require some pushing. So we compromise, we pivot. I'm going to drop the volume on my workouts a little bit, probably drop a couple of actual workouts, maybe 1 or 2 per session. So volume set-wise, sets and weights, will stay the same. The number of actual movements I do will probably go down by 1, maybe 2. And this is going to be on a daily basis. If I'm feeling really good and I can push through it, then so be it. But I have to be very honest with myself, and I don't want to convince myself to push it, because then the next day I'm going to be suffering. I might not swap out, but change up my cardio a little bit. Overall time will probably stay the same, but this week I'm going to deload, and I plan on doing 45 minutes on the Stairmaster every single day. We'll see how I feel come Wednesday. I might have to just say, you know what, Stairmaster is great, it torches the fat, but just my general exhaustion, I just got to walk on the treadmill. And maybe I do an extra like 10 minutes on the treadmill, because the ratio of calories burned, fat burned is not a 1-for-1. Minute on the Stairmaster, minute on the treadmill. But a 50-minute walk on the treadmill versus 45 minutes on the Stairmaster, am I going to burn the same fat? No, but close, and it's not as taxing on my body. The last one, well, one of the biggest ones, is prioritizing my sleep. I'm hoping that if I make some of these other adjustments, the sleep just sort of becomes what it is. If not, then I either need to start going to bed earlier, or meditation, melatonin, ZMA, I don't know. But I need to start getting better quality sleep, because it impacts my workouts, it impacts my weight loss. And the other thing that impacts the ability to lose weight, obviously cortisol levels, stress. My job is stressful, as I've said probably several times in these videos. I have to do everything I can to limit the stress over the next couple of weeks. I say that knowing full well that I'm in court every single day this week in hearings. I have a big hearing next week, 1 week out from my show. I just gotta get through it, head down, and just power through, and just not let anything get to me. So those are the goals over the next 3 weeks. We'll see how this goes, and that's going to wrap up the video. So we got 3 weeks left. Next week, I'm going to try to give you guys a little bit more. I have to get my posing down, my posing routine, the individual routine. I keep putting it off because people in the yoga studios, whenever I go, and time constraints, and I'm making excuses. I got to get it done. So that's probably next week's video, and then at that point we're basically a week out, and then it's show day, baby. So thank you guys for watching.
like, comment, subscribe, as always, and get comfortable being uncomfortable. See you guys next week.